It's the fourth and final build here in Beachy Bay, and you know what? A lazy episode needs one thing: a lazy river. Oh yes, it is the series that literally nobody is watching, but you know what? I don't care because I'm having fun doing this. This is actually... I'm loving it. I really am. So, guys, thank you for coming back. If you are coming back, I really do appreciate you coming to hang out with us. Welcome back to Beachy Point. Welcome back to Planet Coaster. We are putting a water park in because we are not playing Planet Coaster 2 yet. So, we want to get the vibe. We want to get the feels and all of that. So, in the previous episodes, this is what we have done. Our entrance area with these little pools here. Then we added in some slides in the kids area. And in the last episode, we did a pretty sizable piece of work, but it was a relatively easy thing to pull together. We did the waterfall pools and we did these slides, so that leaves us with pretty much one episode left, I think, and that's this one you're seeing at the top. So this was going to be either the track for the go-karts or a layout for a, what are they called? What are they even called? Lazy river. There we go. Welcome back to the Chacho Madness. That literally just left my head, by the way. It was gone. It was not, and it was never coming back. Yes, so it's either going to be the track for the go-karts or it's going to be a lazy river. And I think I'm going to go for a lazy river. We've also got some tube slides that we need to put in because these ones are all body slides. So we need to put some tube slides in. And as you can see, I did originally think I was going to have 4 exits. That was a little bit ambitious, let's be honest. I think I'm going to end up with 2 because this is the pool that they're going to empty into and it's going to be chaos. So I think I'm going to level this off and we're just going to call it 2. And then this is the tower that they are going to come from. So I need to work out what the shape and whatever is going to be. And then I need to bring a path around this way to connect this up. I need to put the laser river and stuff in. Need to connect this to something. Do you know what? I'm doing a lot of talking about what I'm going to be doing. I could just be doing it. So let's go. Oh, there you go. This is a much better view to be showing you because, well, you can see. I mean, this is a relatively simple but surprisingly time-consuming build. It's taken quite some time to get here, but it doesn't actually look like it. I've had to do quite a bit of toying with the land, and this bit wasn't quite level, so I've had to do some like realigning and whatever. But yeah, it's coming together. It's about the middle part, so you know what the drill is. I'm going to show you around a mess, and then I'll show you the final bit and whatever. So this is what I'm thinking, and I'm saying thinking for now because I think I still need to do quite a bit of like tweaking or whatever. But Key West have got these tube slides, right? They've actually, I think it's only 2 of them, and they've got these little troughs that live there, right? So this is kind of what I'm going for here. The fact that you have this tower, and then you come down into the slide, and then you come into one of the troughs, and then you sort of like float there for a while, and the current then sort of eventually takes you down. Oh my, you can control yourself. It's not deep water, but the current will eventually take you down to the next section, and then you get to the bottom there, into the next trough, and then the same thing happens, and then you end up going down into the final splash pool. And then the other one that I've got is a little bit faster, so this is a bit more of a thrill slide in the sense that it comes down here and then comes round and then into the pool. I don't want to call it a plunge pool because it's not a plunge pool, but let's call it a plunge pool for the sake of the fact that my brain is telling me to say that. And then the same thing happens. You end up entering the next part of the slide, down into the next pool, and then down into the end pool, right? So the Goodrington one, Key West, I think there's one slide that's got 3 pools and one slide that's got 2. I've just decided to do 2 just because that's just how it is. I have already started the support mechanisms because, yeah, this was causing a bit of a problem. I couldn't realign the slides because of the way they sit on the tower, and I couldn't realign this one because, anyway, I've ended up doing a bit of a weird combination. I have checked this over with some peeps, and actually this is still okay. This, you probably couldn't do much more of an angle than this, but typically they should be parallel to each other to hold the weight of the water. But you're okay because you're not overlapping too much here. You have no tipping risk with this bit, so we're all good. But all the others, they're all parallel as they should be. And I've actually decided to try and, because I can't do water, right? You just can't do it because it's raised up. So I've got billboards and I've got some water effects. You've seen me use this before, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I did decide to have it like this rather than to have it as a bigger billboard and then the plunge pool be the size of the billboard. This is kind of a deliberate design, and that's because from a distance it actually gives a variation of water here, right? So you can see the variation of the ripples as opposed to it being one solid surface. So I've kind of taken the $2.20 principle here of saying actually it looks okay from the top. So that's what we're going for. So the lazy river itself is now in. I didn't want it to be any more winding than this because I just don't have the space to do it. I just did want to put it through here, but you can't because of the support structures and stuff that are needed, and you can't because of all of the other bits, you know, that need to be here. So I've started down here with a massive like collection pool. This is like the bit where you enter and exit. This is the main entrance and exit to the lazy river. So you enter the actual river this side, and then you go around clockwise. So you enter this way, and it goes around here. And then you always need to have some kind of area where the current and whatever dissipates. And that's because in order to maintain speed through a lazy river, you have to do like undulating. I love that word, undulating. The narrow to wide points, because then the actual pinch points create the current. So you open out into a slightly wider section here, which is also going to be an entry and exit point. So all of this is going to be pathed off, and you're going to be able to get in and out of the actual area from here, and then you're going to come around this way, and that's where it gets faster again, because remember, these currents are done by jets and not by terrain change, level change, height change. So it's actually controlled artificially. So you come around this way, and then you exit into the plunge pool. Oh, it's not a plunge pool, is it? Into the collection pool. This then is also going to have an exit point. You do want to have exit points in case there's an emergency and people either need to or want to get out. So this is going to be an exit point, and then this is going to connect around the back here to the main area. And then of course this one was also going to have a bridge, I think, that's going to come over here, and then I can put some effects and stuff on that bridge and make that all a thing. So I need to do all of the usual covers and stuff on here just to make it all make sense. I've started the idea of having some kind of water feature. I do kind of want to hide the slides, but I also don't want to hide the slides. We know that nature and whatever is going to make this come to life anyway. So I want to have some kind of waterfall effect in here, and I want to have other effects going on, but I don't really know what I want. But what I have done is I've copied across the bucket. So the bucket is here, right, and it's going to come into this pool here. It feels like it's just needed. Whether it's actually safe to do so, I've started to not care. we're breaking so many health and safety rules right now that let's just have fun with this, shall we? So the other bit that I've done is I've started to create this plaza area. This is going to be, I wanted this originally to be a bigger area where there were lots of sun lounges and that sort of stuff, but actually we've been putting these in around and about, right? So I don't think we need a main area. I've also decided I don't want a bowl slide. I don't want this park to be complex because, well, A, you're not watching this, and B, I don't have the time or the inclination to do it. So I'm happy with this because this is testing all of my ability when it comes to terrain changes and that sort of stuff. So I'm happy with the park, right? I'm enjoying doing this, but I don't think I want bowl slides and stuff. It's not that kind of park. It's just a water park beside. That's actually probably been set up because the theme park is over there. So it's all good. Right, so let's talk about the tower. So I have just, well, it was a base. I copied across the tread plates from the other tower, so I know that the stairs are all consistent with each other, blah blah blah. It means then it actually makes this easier to do the rest, right, to do the rest of the supporting, but the tower's not the same shape, and that's because you've got these two here, and I needed an entry strategy that sort of brought the guests around this way or around this way to the well, in Key West it's called kamikaze slide, but whatever we're going to call this slide. I did have ideas, right, of having another slide coming off of here or another one coming off here. I possibly still could if I brought it down here like I did. No, see, I can't because I haven't got room. Okay, no, scrap that idea. I'm thinking out loud and it just doesn't work. So yeah, got the 3 slides here. That's how we're gonna deal with it. I then started to bring the pathway from the other slides around this way. So basically, all roads lead to this top part of the path, right, of the park. So we're going to come from this way, going to come from this way, and there's a couple of other areas and whatever. Now you're probably wondering what this bit is underneath here. Well, so in the UK, when it comes to, I say in the UK, at Paynton, at Key West, when it comes to tube slides, a lot of you, when we're talking about Planet Coaster 2, are talking about the idea of having the lift hills and whatever, and they're missing, and the fact that the tubes just disappear into the pools. Well, at Key West, they don't have the lift hills. You quite literally pick up a ring and you walk around with it for the entire day, or for the entire time that you need it, and you collect them from like this sort of collection point here. So basically what would happen is you would approach this bit, you'd pick up a ring, you'd go up the stairs, you would go down the slide, and then you would be expected to put your ring back. Oh, there's so many jokes you could make. Or someone would come along and collect all of the discarded rings and put them back up here, so that they're then ready for the next guest to pick up. So you don't actually have a lift hill that brings the rings back up, right? If you wanted to, you probably could have one. It would fit sort of around this area. But no, I'm going to go with the idea that the guests have to do all the work because we're a cheap park. So that's what I'm thinking. That's where we're going with this. That's everything I've done so far. I am going to get this finished. I will see you in a minute. And just like that, our completely unusable water park is done. At least for now. I'm going to do some touching ups and whatever before I do the final tour. But I am happy, very, very happy with how this has turned out. I mean, look at this. It's a full-on water park. It looks exactly as I thought it was going to, and a little bit better, because I didn't think I was going to be able to do half the stuff that we've actually been able to achieve. So let's have a look at what we've got, shall we? I don't even know where to begin, like, showing you around, because it's just so many good sight lines. Like, there's that one, and there's that one, and there's sort of like this one. Oh, guys, honestly, I'm proper chuffed. Like, I didn't think I was going to be able to do something like this in Planet Coaster 1. Imagine what we're going to be able to do in Planet Coaster 2. It's actually got quite a lot to live up to, really, hasn't it? Like, let's be honest. Right, let's start here. Slide towers, because we're supposed to be showing you around. So I've done lots of touching up of this area. It's had all of its bracings and all of the rest of its stuff done to the framework and whatever. I'm happy with how this is. It's not perfect. Of course it's not. It's Planet Coaster 1. You can only do what you get given, right? But this is ultimately what I wanted it to be. It's just a carbon copy of the other tower, so we're all good. I've added in some of the splash effects and whatever at the top of the flumes here, so we're all good in that space. And I've also added them to this bit here as well, because of course you're going to go into it. Now you're just going to have to forgive that we don't have particle collision, so it doesn't know, the game doesn't know that this water shouldn't be falling down here. Like, we're building stuff in the Planet Coaster 1 that shouldn't be built, so sometimes you just have to have trade-offs. But I've done all of the water pools. They're now all done, as you can see. That's what I just said. They're done. By the way, in case you missed that, they're done. they look decent from this point. I'm actually quite happy. I'm quite happy with how they are. And the whole blue and green thing is just it's just great. We come to the actual pool, the exit pool. It has its usual stuff, right? It has its splashes here, and then it splashes into the actual pool itself. And then I've just made the water move. I've shown you how to do this. It's the fountain splash. Turned upside down and then sunk into the wall. This pool is probably its pool water is probably moving far more than it would do in real life. It's more rapids than they are, whatever. But it's the only way you can really make water move, and it's just the speed of the animation, right? You can't really change it. What I have done is I have started to put in, not started because we're done. I've put in the vents. There's definitely not as many vents as there should be in this kind of space, but I've started to put the vents into the pool just to sort of make it a little bit more realistic, especially as the water would need to be filtered in some kind of way. So as I said, there's not enough vents, but it's good for now. Over in this pool, I've done the same, right? The fountain technique, but I've also just added in a lane separator. That's exactly what I said I was going to do. So this now separates this slide exit with a sort of a smaller swimming area, if you like. So that's what I've done. That's what I've done there. So over in the lazy river space, this is what we've got here. So this is the main collection pool. Again, it's a swimming space, but it's the entry and exit point of the lazy river. Once again, I have made the water move by using the fountain technique. I did have these what you called the water spouts jets that I've used on the flumes. I did have them pointing in directions, but it didn't look right. it just wasn't right, so I've ended up just having the water moving. And then this is the waterfall that I wanted. Amazing, it's all there. And then this is the bridge. Oh yeah, the bridge wasn't in. So this is the bridge that I've done. I've just copied it across from Firebird, but then changed it and made it relevant to this space. And then coloured all of the pillars and whatever, and added in some water effects. This splash effect is literally going to drown you. That's why you've got a lifeguard sitting right there. But yeah, the bridge is in, so you've now got a connection between this part here and of course the area that we've got here, which I've just put loads of sun loungers on, by the way. This would just be a seating area. It wouldn't necessarily be a high traffic area, but what it is an entry and exit opportunity for the lazy river, so you can get in and out here quite happily and quite easily. And then I've just done the same along here. Just put a couple of sun loungers and whatever, just to clutter it out a little bit, because otherwise the space was too empty. But we don't want to have too much here because it is the entry and exit point for, as I said, the lazy river. I've put the stairs on a jaunty angle here. I don't think I love it, but as it turns out, but it's fine. Oh, that's my chair. But I don't. Yeah, it's fine. If I had it tidy, it looked silly. So we'll say nothing about the fact that Lazy River is going to be bringing you down this way, and you're going to go straight into the stairs. Shh, it's fine. I've put a couple of like splash effects in here. I don't even know how this would even work, but it's just in, and it's fun. We're having fun here. Then the Lazy River continues this way. Again, I've just put a couple of like fountains and stuff in here. It's all good. I've not made the bucket work on this one. No reason why. Laziness, I guess. I might do it before the end of the tour. But what I wanted to show you here is just the pathway that comes down this way. I didn't want to use the same lamppost that I have everywhere else because it feels like this needs to be some kind of like walkthrough. So I've just done the low level lighting, the sort of like waist high lighting, and it looks decent, right? And it now actually connects the main plaza with this bit, which is then connected by the bridge, and we've now got full circulation around the park. I can get from here to here in a multitude of different ways, and that's that's kind of what I was going for. So, looking at this bit, I've tidied all of this up. You know that this was always coming, so I've sort of finished this off, put all of the foliage and stuff in, made it all come to life, and it's looking decent. I love how we've got the interaction with the fences and stuff. So the fences would just be in to stop people coming into the Flume area. It's not necessarily like you would do with the roller coaster. It's not don't die fencing or anything like that, because the Flumes are tall enough that you could go underneath them, and if you did interact with the Flume, you know, it's not actually that much of a disaster. So but the pathway comes round this way, then it comes underneath the framework, and then this is the area where you collect all of your inflatables. Don't remember if these were in before. I don't think they were actually, so I've put these in. I put these in since. So this is just, as I said, where you collect your inflatables. Just to confirm, Key West doesn't have a lift hill for the inflatables. You quite literally have to carry it around with you and then return it when you're done, because we like to make you guys do the work. So that's looking all decent. And then elsewhere, I've just done some like really subtle stuff. So again, I've put in all of the vents and whatever into these pools, and I've also just tidied up some of the lighting. I've still got a little bit to do, but it's looking decent from here. And then I've just tidied up some of the pathing and stuff here. Some of it wasn't quite right, but it's now looking good. And this is exactly what I wanted to go for. This doesn't feel like it's on a side of a hill. It actually feels like it's all completely flat, and it uses the terrain perfectly for what I wanted it to do, especially when you have this one here. It just sort of like it just dips down into the ground, and you're able to get extra height because it's on the side of a hill. Like, I just love the terrain. It's not until you get to like even here it doesn't look like it's a hill, but it is. This one's higher. This pool is higher than this one. This pool is higher than this one, and then all of this, of course, is higher than the splash pad that we've got. And it's decent. The only real time you see it is when you actually look at the waterfall pools, where you've got that one, and that one, and three different heights. So guys, this is how it's looking from the top. Yes, it's a pool. It's a theme park. It's a water park. What more can you say other than thank you very much for getting to the end of the episode. I really do appreciate you. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. We're going to go for a tour next week because I want to show this to you at peep level because I think we've spent so long getting it right at peep level. We should probably go down to peep level and see the park. So I'll see you next week for that. Otherwise, have a good week. I'll speak to you later. Take care. Bye.